Hello and welcome to this week's episodes of The Calling. Follow your spirit all the way in. I'm your host, Homaya. Join me in this journey of self-awareness, soul frequencies, and spiritual revelations. Let's fly. Blessings, beloved. This is an episode where I'm about to bring something super special. Something that was delivered to me, that was given to me a few years ago, and completely changed my vision about energy healing, light work, and myself as a light worker, an empathic, sensitive, intuitive, psychic being. I wish to expose for the first time on a podcast platform something that was not received through a certain lineage, something that I've never read in a script, something that was most likely never written in any script, in any book. This is a channeled wisdom from what I name as my galactic masters. This is evolutionary codes, and I would even say that this is revolutionary codes, because it will create a revolution in your vision about yourself and your light work and about almost anything that is connected to you serving light and leading in and as light. This is an end of a paradigm and an embracement of a greater truth. I want to shortly share my story because it is super relevant here. And I'm speaking about the third phase, I would say, of my life, where I already was traveling the world, teaching healing and initiating healers. I could spot a healer from distance. Even if that person would say that they're not healers, they don't have healing energies, I could spot them for distance. I could recognize who is this person, what is the energy that this person is carrying, and I was initiating thousands and thousands of healers to shamanic healing, energy work. That was quite phenomenal. However, after 15 years of doing it, I've realized that there's still something very much in common for most of the healers. I've realized that there is a type of a glass ceiling, I would say, where a limitation was accepted, where although great healers and amazing beings could create massive phenomena against all odds, there was still a very limiting attitude as people were walking for themselves. And therefore, I decided to stop initiating healers and teaching healing techniques and dive deeper in the understanding of what is really going on, why it is like that. And I've asked a lot of questions. I've asked a lot of questions within me. I ask a lot of questions to my spirit guides and to my allies in the higher heavens. At a certain point, I created an environment, an online space for healers, for light workers, for those that are empathic, intuitive, sensitive, psychic. And as I started leading in this space, I could see through the people, but also through my spirit guides, my allies, the energetic constitution, the template that we carry as lightworker, the template that we carry as lightworkers. That was mind-blowing, I might say, the first time that I started seeing it and starting to really live according to it. We all have 7 chakras. We all know that this is the spectrum of creation. We all know how the chakras are being positioned and what are they responsible of and the frequency that each chakra is carrying. But I could see that in the energetic template of those of us intuitive, sensitive, empathic, psychic, there's something a little bit different. The template looked a little bit different. I could recognize what I named as a golden heart. And I talked about it in episode 22, 2 episodes ago in season 2, about the energetic structure. So if you haven't listened to that, it would be amazing that you go there and listen. But let me do a recap as we need that to continue deeper. A golden heart might seem as a cliche, right? A cliche that, oh, those are people who have a very caring heart, etc. But it is not a cliche. It's a real phenomena that one needs to learn how to live with. It is quite amazing, by the way, that those people with a golden heart, if you ask them about it, they strongly believe and they strongly see the world like everyone are walking with a golden heart, which is not the truth. If you look around you in the world, you'll see that it's not the truth. People are not caring for each other as you believe they do. Being an advanced species as human is open to interpretations, and different people are seeing it in different ways. But if you would ask yourself, what would you do within your ability to support others? If you would look at what you have done in your life until now to support others, to contribute, you would see it's quite a lot. So this is for the understanding of what is a golden heart, but it's even deeper than that. Because a golden heart is an indication of a metallic frequency. And what is metal doing? Conducting light. And that is exactly what makes us so empathic, psychic, intuitive. Because this main heart chakra in the frequency of gold is what supports us to conduct energies, to deliver energies, to move them between dimensions, to direct them to different places in the body, in life. This is the root, this is the core of our ability to transform other people's lives. And it also enhances our receptivity. This is why we grasp. This is why we have so strong telepathic intuition. We can read other people's thoughts. We can sense their feeling. We can sense someone coming into the room way before that person came into the room. We can sense the weather changing in our bones. Of course, we have a whole chakra system that compose these capacities and abilities, but it is rooted in the golden heart. It is rooted in the metallic frequency of our heart. That led me to shift my vision. That was the beginning. Because at that moment, I stopped calling myself a light worker. I rejected the submissive frequency that exists in this title, light worker. And I positioned it completely different, and I positioned myself completely different in my light work and in my light service, and I named it as an activator of light. And I invite you to look at it and feel the same for yourself, maybe. We're here to conduct light. We're here to move things within dimensions. We're here to support the navigation, the direction, the interaction, the co-creation with and through light and consciousness. We are the allies of God. Take a deep breath as you hear that and let that sink within you. We co-create together with the divine. We are empowered in God's presence. We're messengers of light. And that is a whole different attitude that activates, that empowers. And as I said, there are other chakras playing in the uniqueness that makes us telepathic and intuitive. And I could see that. Few months after working with the template as it is, I started asking more questions because I could still see that there are people that are free and dynamic, and there are others that were more grounded and mental, and there were people who were so open and the other were so reserved. I started asking more questions about it, and what I've realized that if you look at the entire template, not only on the golden heart, but all the rest of the chakras are organized around this golden heart, you would see that there are some tendencies. And I started recognizing those tendencies. There were some strong tendencies to a group of people, and to another group, other tendencies. There were those who had no boundaries, and those who hide their truth and voice, and those who afraid of their powers, and those who cannot ground. There were those who could really take strong responsibilities, and those who can tap into the core, and those who have a deep understanding of the abundance of life, and those who were moved by devotion. I could start seeing, could really see that there's a new map. There is a map. If I put all the people that I know, and I literally took my students to see, am I seeing right? I've received the map. Does it work? And I called in my heart eyes for a long period of time to see my students and my clients, to see, do they really follow these imprints? And they did. I named them 4 imprints: the light seeder, the infinity streamer, the flame illuminator, and the paradise opener. Take a deep breath. In this episode, I will continue a little bit more. And in the following episodes, I'm going to go deeper in those imprints. If you do not know what is your imprint, please know that I've created a quiz, a questionnaire, something around 18 questions, which you can go through, answer in radical honesty from the higher perspective of who you are and what you are, and you will find, where are you positioned? There's something that I need to clarify. What you will receive when you will get to know what is your light activator imprint is that this is just the tip of the iceberg. It is just the entry point. It's a big entry point to a big radical truth, but it's just the entry point. In other words, what you will receive is a reflection of who you are today, who you are now in this era, in this period of your life. What is your greatest tendency? This is what you're going to discover. As technology will advance, I will be able to play a little bit more with this quiz of the imprints, and I will probably arrive into a situation where you wouldn't come up with an answer that you are a paradise opener, and that's it. You will come with an answer to see that actually you are 35% paradise opener, 20% light seeder, 50% flame illuminator, and the rest, right? Why? Because we all have the overall governing template activated in our system. We just have a certain tendency. And that tendency is a portal. It is your portal to a new paradigm of growth and the new paradigm of healing and health and evolution, prosperity, wealth, and so much more. Because through your specific imprint, you come to life. Through your specific imprint, you connect to yourself and you connect to life and you connect to creation. But then, more than that, you would like and you would want to be in your fullest. A full activation of the template. Let the template be illuminated. Now, it's different than most of the archetype work or paradigm work or astrology or human design, because it is not dependent on your date of birth. So you might say to yourself, oh, so what is it? It's just intuitive? No, it's not intuitive. It's not just intuitive. It is a reflection that comes to activate your own spiritual muscles, your own personal power, your becoming, your ascension. Take a deep breath. And this is why I'm saying that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Because once you will embrace and activate your specific imprint, and if you will do, by the way, if you will do the quiz, you will have some answers, like you will have the result, but there's even more that await. You will see that you will be able to receive the entire profile ready for you to read, but you will be also invited to a series of activation, several activation that will support you to integrate your specific imprint. It's a whole course that takes you through a 28 days of embodiment of an ascension path. Because when you will be moving into an activation and an alignment and embodiment of your specific imprint, the paradigm shift will start happening. And why? Maybe you heard me in previous episodes or in other teachings saying it. Maybe you feel that. Maybe you know that truth to be true. We all, as one, create a certain presence. So all of us, light activator, we're actually describing in our presence, in our energy, in the way we move. We are describing the truths about healing and about evolution. If you look deeper and you really get all the imprints, all the 4 imprints, you get so clear that healing is not fixing, that light work is not about bringing something back to its original state. It is actually creating a new state, an advanced embodiment. There's an old paradigm about healing that so many people take on themselves, whether it is in Western medicine or energetic work, that it's either we go back to what happened before, which is better, or if we want to create something new, we need to die like the caterpillar is dying in the cocoon. This is a paradigm that I name it as a spiritual brainwash, a patriarchic, old, limiting paradigm we bought to, and we forgot who we truly are and what is truly the power that we carry. I invite us all to say goodbye to the caterpillar death, only to live for 2 days as a beautiful butterfly. Healing is rooted very strongly in the plant world. And if you look profoundly in a very simple way, you're able to see that there's a seed that contains a flower, a fruit. But when you look at the seed, you don't see anything. You just see something tiny, little bit small, tiny energy. This is a massive potential energy. There are so many codes and so much power in this little seed. And it carries the flower and it carries the fruits through the stem up. And there's nothing indicate that there will be a flower or a fruit waiting. Nothing indicates it. However, it comes. And when you look at the flower, it is an unbelievable, powerful, beautiful presence, enchanting, creating life. And from that little seed in the darkness to this powerful, beautiful, enchanting flower, nourishing, full of juice, fruit, there was no death. There was no death. This is the non-linear story of the light seeder, the infinity streamer, the flame illuminator, and the paradise opener. Once you recognize yourself in that imprint, in that template, you will feel free and powerful to play in light, to give birth as an act of love and pleasure and joy. Take a deep breath, let that integrate. We're going to go deeper in it in the next episodes. We're going to go higher in it in the golden gathering. You're invited to join Golden. You're also invited to discover your light imprint and to go and activate it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening and being part of this great conversation. You will find all the relevant links in the show notes, as well as a link to a meditation for you to feel more connected to your spirit and aligned with your soul contract. Please, if this episode touched you, leave a review, like, and subscribe. Feel comfortable to share it with your friends, family, and colleagues, because everyone has a calling.